Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. It is Tuesday, October 13th, 2015, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Here's what's coming up tonight.
Tonight, busted. CNN fabricates another news report, this time using one of Jeb Bush's staff members to play the role of an antagonist to frame Donald Trump.
I don't think that you're a friend to women.
Within minutes of this scripted performance, CNN producers put together a hit piece and ran with the story.
Donald Trump is always using the C word about women.
I cherish women.
Did Mom ever stare at you like this, Donald?
Yet another example of the long list of BS stories brought to you by CNN.
Boy, did I almost look stupid.
Plus, live coverage of the liberal authoritarian Democrat debate as we take a look at the face-off between the criminal Hillary Clinton and the socialist Bernie Sanders. Live coverage begins right now on the InfoWars Nightly News.
And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com.
Welcome to our special live edition of the InfoWars Nightly News. David Knight and Joe Biggs will be joining me in the studio at 7:30 Central. We're going to be giving you our take on the Democratic debate. It's being touted as the greatest show on earth. If you've got a 3D headset, you can actually catch a glimpse of what the candidates are doing when the camera is not on them. Now, I don't think that you're going to be able to kind of swing around the candidates and see the strings being pulled there by the puppet masters, but it should be pretty interesting. Be sure to tweet us your questions using hashtag #DemDebate, and we'll go ahead and read those live on the air. The debate ends about 9:30 Central, so we'll give you about a 5-minute wrap-up after that, and we know that you all really enjoy the commentary here, the Mystery Science Theater InfoWars style. Now, it'll be very interesting to see if CNN has yet another plant in the audience. They're just seething there, foaming at the mouth to spin the narrative on a plant that was in attendance at the No Labels event. They sort of touted it as this just regular female audience member who had some pretty pressing questions there for Donald Trump. Let's take a look at their spin on what happened that day.
I cherish women.
And just when Trump thought it was safe to go on to the next question.
If you become president, will a woman make the same as a man? And do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job, and I happen to be pro-life.
As for what his questioner did with her body, hands on hips, eyebrow cocked.
So there she was, just your average angry female audience member, no makeup, the cross-armed. You could see her body language. Well, it turns out she wasn't just your average female in attendance there who was upset with Trump's take on things. She's a paid political operative of the GOP and a paid staff member of Team Jeb Bush. Now, this was an article up on the Drudge Report out of the conservative treehouse, so good job, guys. Now, they kind of put this whole piece together, looked at her entire social media accounts, which are being scrubbed as we speak. She's trying to erase all evidence of this. She is a current staffer for Senator Kelly Ayotte, and she's also working in New Hampshire on behalf of the Jeb Bush 2016 campaign. Now, it's interesting because she asked Trump about, will I be able to do what I want with my body, Donald Trump? Well, the woman that she's working for is also pro-life. So I'm probably generalizing here, but I imagine this girl is also pro-life, but that doesn't matter to her. She's willing to play the thespian, play the role, play her part, take down the whole party, make the GOP look like old, angry white men that don't care about women, just to play that opposition there and take down, eliminate any political opposition. Now, of course, Donald Trump quickly responded to all of this, and he said, how can Jeb Bush expect to deal with China, Russia, and Iran if he gets caught doing a plant during my speech yesterday in New Hampshire? So that's, you know, a very interesting take on things. I don't think that they expected that people were going to find out that this girl was actually a paid GOP staffer there working with Jeb Bush. Of course, they came out and said she did it on her own accord. It was not authorized. But this is the kind of thing that we're going to be seeing out of CNN. They'll work with the GOP as long as it's going to help them take down, you know, a common enemy there. And let's not forget, one of the debate moderators there, Anderson CIA Cooper, was a member of the Clinton Global Initiative. He's an esteemed, or they call him a notable past member there on the Clinton Global Initiative's website. So I'm sure he's going to be really tough on Hillary Clinton there tonight with the questions. Of course, she's going to get a lot of softballs thrown her way. It'll be very interesting to see who actually asks her about her flip-flop on the TPP, or who asks her about Benghazi or her email scandal or what have you. It'll probably be another person there on the panel. But no wonder that trust in the media, trust in the government is at an all-time low. We can blatantly see that they're setting this up to be a great spectacle, and then they're not even going to ask any really tough questions. Here's another article, something else CNN just recently did when they were covering the Oregon shooting. This is a video someone sent us in. Sandy Hook footage spliced into Oregon shooting news. Does the corporate media take us for idiots? So now I work in media. I know sometimes we are running low on B-roll, but you're not running so low on B-roll of a school shooting that you have to go back and use footage from Sandy Hook. So, I mean, that right there it's not laziness. I can't say it's laziness. That is blatant propaganda there. For anyone who's not really paying attention, they would just see that same scene over and over again. They could have found some other B-roll. Unfortunately, there have been plenty of other opportunities for them. So, you know, they obviously do think that we're idiots. And this is why trust in the media, trust in our government is at an all-time low. And Obama says, you know what, this suspicion of the government is paralyzing, especially when they're trying to do big things. And of course, by that, what he means is that it's paralyzing to his agenda. He said, if you think the government is the enemy, and that too is a running strain in our democracy, that's sort of in our DNA. We're suspicious of government as a tool of oppression. And that skepticism is healthy, but it can be paralyzing when we're trying to do big things together. Well, we're not really trying to do big things together with you, Obama, especially when it comes to your very confusing agenda there in the Middle East.
Your liver can be full of fatty deposits, built-up toxins, and even dangerous objects known as liver stones. We worked with the top developers in the field of detox to take tried and true herbs and other compounds known to safely cleanse the liver and fused it with the latest research and technological development on concentrating these ingredients to give you the maximum effect. Liver Shield is the only liver support product on the market that uses a patented Spigirex blend of powerful organic herbs that support detoxification. And when you visit InfoWarsLife.com, see the instructional video on how to do a 6-day liver detox. This isn't a game, and let me tell you, the results are dramatic. Liver Shield is totally organic and made of the safest high-quality herbs. But that said, you need to consult your physician before you do the full detox. Liver Shield can also be used daily by itself for overall upkeep of the liver. Secure your Liver Shield today exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com for the lowest price available. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here for InfoWars.com to break down and reveal the mystery behind why ISIS has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, perhaps more than 1,000, late model, armored, militarized Toyota trucks, mainly from the United States. Now, we reported on this in 2014. I'm going to show you some of the articles. The mystery is solved, and it's been solved since the beginning. but it's hiding in plain view. And if folks can understand this simplistic report that's factually based, you can understand everything. The globalists hide everything in plain view like we're idiots. Al-Nusra, for 4+ years, has been funded by NATO, the United States, Turkey, and many others. It is Al-Qaeda in Syria. That's in Reuters. That's in Associated Press. They admit that's who the Russians are now targeting. That is Al-Qaeda. ISIS is another Wahhabist spinoff of that, creating Islamic State in an area between Syria and Iraq. So that's a separate new part of the caliphate. The takeover of Syria and the area around Damascus that's going to be left to Syria is being done by Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra. The U.S., quote, gives the armored vehicles, the missiles, the weapons that Saudi Arabia gives them and others give them to al-Nusra, who are the good rebels, Al-Qaeda, and then they give them to ISIS. And that's even come out in Congress. But the mainstream media just keeps acting like this isn't a fact. The head of Defense Intelligence went public a couple of months ago. We've played the clip here. They've had the deputy head of the CIA go public because they're all covering their butts. They're either covering their butts or they're signaling to everyone that treason has been committed and something needs to be done. Our military, remember 3 years ago, said we're not going to be the Air Force for Al-Qaeda in Syria, so they changed the name to ISIS to confuse the public. So last week, the Treasury Department comes out and says, we want to know where the trucks came from because they're involved in import-export controls through the Commerce Department. And so they say, we want to know at the Commerce Department and at the Treasury where the Toyotas came from. Well, we know a bunch of them came from Texas. I'm going to show you the articles. It's been in NPR a year ago. Even NPR got it right. It's been in The Spectator. It's been in INFOWARS. It's been known. It's been known for a long, long time, just buried in the articles. And then they say, where did they get them? Are they covering their butts, or are they trying to signal that the public should investigate this? I think it's a little bit of both, but here are some of the articles. Here's an article at Washington's blog up on InfoWars.com today that breaks it all down and has the link to The Spectator, and it also has the link to the public radio. And you can go to public radio, PRI International, part of public radio, and you can read the article right here. This one Toyota pickup truck is at the top of the shopping list for the Free Syrian Army and the Taliban, 2014. And then you go into the article, it admits down here in the story that it's come from the United States, given to al-Nusra, and the State Department, that's Hillary Clinton, gave the non-lethal aid to the Syrian rebels, al-Nusra. Okay, boom. Now let's continue. ISIS drives Texas-made Toyota trucks, apparently modified for U.S. Special Forces. And then it gets into how these were made in Texas. And it links to all the admissions from the U.S. Army orders, and it's total proof. Infowars.com. Here's another one. Where did ISIS get all those Toyotas? This is last week, 7 days ago, October 7th. Christian Science Monitor. U.S. official asked how ISIS got so many Toyota trucks, ABC News, 7 days ago. So there's that report. Then, of course, ISIS got a bunch of, quote, weapons from Iraq accidentally that the U.S. military left for them. They've got pre-crime systems watching our troops before they commit a crime with computers. Beyond 1984 or Minority Report. But the people running the Pentagon and running the White House are arming al-Qaeda, and that's okay. And it's hidden in plain view. Where's the current crime monitoring on this? Let's continue here. I mean, if I try to bring fruit into the country, I'll get arrested, or out of the country. But you can just give Stinger missiles to al-Qaeda and trucks, and nobody gets in trouble. Here's another one. Four-wheel drives to ISIS are what longbows were to the English at, their big battle. And then it goes on, the Welsh longbowmen. Meanwhile, there's the big speaker fight, and it turns out that Obama is supporting, of course, Paul Ryan. We do not need another neocon rhino controller in there. And we've got Jeb Bush planting staffers in attendance to try to bring down Trump. And the reason I add these stories to the end of this whole thing about the mystery of the trucks that is no mystery is it just shows how rigged everything is in the establishment. And if we wake up to the rigging of this and don't act like inept, illiterate morons politically, geopolitically, it's over. So there is no mystery to the Toyotas. There is no mystery about al-Nusra. There is no mystery about Islamic State, ISIS, ISIL. They play on the public's ignorance to confuse people. The U.S. military, the CIA, Defense Intelligence, the FBI, everybody knows what's going on here. And most people don't like it, to the credit of the government. And they're saying, American people, stand up, do something. We need you to speak out. We need the press to speak out and talk about it. But ABC News, everybody's like, gee, where'd the trucks come from? We don't know. We gave them to the nice rebels, al-Nusra, and now they're in ISIS's hands. And clearly some of the trucks came from other places too that Saudi Arabia bought and gave them. So they're confusing the public. Saudi Arabia bought multi-shiploads from Japan. So there's different groups, but a bunch of them came from Texas. And we just gave you all the proof right there. This is sensational. And what's old news is new news. We know this. The general public doesn't know it. So now someone in the Pentagon, someone in the Treasury Department, they've all been saying this, say, look at where the trucks came from. Look at where the trucks came from. We should look at where the trucks came from because we know where the trucks came from. All right, I'm going to throw this back over to Paul Joseph Watson, transmitting and broadcasting worldwide, and I'll be back in the saddle, Lord willing, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, right here at the tip of the spear. Infowars.com, Infowars Live, and Infowars Nightly News. If you're watching this transmission or listening to it, get out there and spread the word because you are the resistance. You are the victory. You are the answer. Pray to God to lead God and direct you, and you're unstoppable. Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're going to crash and going to feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols. Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried. We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
If the elite are ruthless, they may simply decide to exterminate the mass of humanity. If they are humane, they may use propaganda or other psychological or biological techniques to reduce the birth rate until the mass of humanity becomes extinct, leaving the world to the elite. In April of 2000, Wired magazine published an article, "Why the Future Doesn't Need Us." What makes this article, and quote, even more interesting is the footnote at the bottom of the article. Why would tech industry leaders go out of their way to quote Ted Kaczynski's Unabomber manifesto in not one but two separate publications? As experimenters have demonstrated, feelings such as hunger, pleasure, anger, and fear can be turned on and off by electrical stimulation of appropriate parts of the brain. Brainwashing and mind-reading devices seem like something directly out of a fictional novel. Robots, cyborgs, and life extension technology. Now, to some disbelief, these technologies are a science reality.
Secretary of Energy O'Leary during the Clinton administration admitted over 500,000 Americans were used as experimental guinea pigs.
But of course, our medical research is focused on the diseases and disabilities of old age.
All these new things that are now at the forefront of technology and philosophy, and which is, combined, we find it in transhumanism.
Many feel that technology will advance, and there's not much anyone can do to prevent that, so what's the point? But is this really the world we want to live in? Is there another way?
Hundreds of thousands of people marched in Berlin on Saturday to protest the TTIP. Now, this is another part of that trifecta of secret trade deals, and these included environmental groups, charities, and opposition parties. They organized this protest. They said about 250,000 people showed up. A police spokesman said it was just 100,000 people, but that's a lot of people here protesting the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, which is going to create the world's largest free trade zone. It'll encompass some 800 million consumers in areas ranging from food safety, environmental rules, banking regulations. Now, the European Commission is saying that TTIP could boost the size of the EU economy as well as the U.S. economy, but opposition has been escalating, saying that this is giving too much power to multinational companies at the expense of consumers and workers, which is exactly what we have been arguing as well. Of course, this has all been negotiated in secret, and people don't really know what's going into this trade deal other than what's been released by WikiLeaks. Now, they are protesting this. This is so important to them that hundreds of thousands of people are out there protesting. They're not protesting the fact that all of these migrants are being flooded into their country and they are being forced to pay for that. Okay, that is a huge thing. But no, they're protesting the TTIP. Now, 20 of these migrants have actually gone and sued Germany. They're suing the Berlin office there of Health and Social Affairs, saying it took too long for us to get our welfare payments. So 20 people got together and now they are suing Germany for taking a little too long on their handouts. And that's this entitlement society. But you know, the Germans, they're not protesting against that. They're not protesting against the fact that German schools are forcing kids to clean up after these migrants. They're calling this a work experience project. The kids are being made to cook, clean, and change beds at a special asylum centers that are being set up throughout Germany. Of course, parents are outraged, and this is authentic. This is an authentic letter that was sent out to eighth graders, preparing eighth graders for practical work experience, taking care of migrants. And of course, as we reported, German schools last month have ordered girls not to wear short skirts so they don't offend anyone or provoke any sexual assaults. So the Germans are not protesting that. They are protesting the TPP, the TTIP. That is important to them. Why are hundreds of thousands of Americans not protesting this? This is a big deal, and this is going to affect all of us. But there is virtually a media blackout on what this is going to mean for our country going forward. Why is that? Well, in addition to the media blackout, Americans, the only thing that we produce are selfies. They're so obsessed with these selfies now, and all of this social media, which Matt Drudge has accurately called these little ghettos of the internet that people are being corralled into, and they're being told what to care about and told what to think is important. People are actually getting plastic surgery now so they'll look better in their selfies, because this is what we produce. Now, granted, this is not being negotiated in the TTP, but it might as well be, because this is people's net worth now, their selfies. Also, here's another article out of the New York Times. Compulsive texting is taking its toll on teenagers. And you know what? It's taking its toll on plenty of adults as well. I see so many relationships being ruined by people who can't even carry on a conversation with each other. But now this is our future. We got the selfie takers and the people who text so much that it's affecting their attention spans. They can't learn in school. They've got lower academic performance. They snap if you interrupt them, so it's causing all these behavioral problems. And then I just had to put this article in there because it just made me so darn furious. This is another reason why no Americans are out there protesting one of the biggest trade deals that's being negotiated in secret on behalf of multinational corporations, and your future is hanging in the balance. But people are actually paying thousands of dollars to go get pickup artist lessons from some total D-bags. And this is what is wrong with the world. Scroll down. I want you to look at the picture of the guy with the pink hair. Okay, this is the leader. This is who people are paying thousands of dollars to teach them how to pick up women. This guy brags that he's made out. There he is. That is who is the leader, the new hero of the men of the world. And he's bragging to these men, you know, just take his pickup artist lessons. He's made out with 230 women in 1 year alone. 27 of those were porn stars. Oh, yay. So there he is. Gosh, what a stud. This is the future of the men in this country. This is who they are getting their lessons from on how to interact with women. how to dress. I mean, that's just so attractive to me. Pink mohawks and leather pants on 50-something-year-old men who aren't even rock stars. So, you know what? Is it a wonder why the elite really aren't worried about bringing us in on their plans and are planning on wiping us all out? Because we just sit there and we let them, and we don't even care about it. But never fear. 34 super rich families are set to survive the apocalypse because they are setting themselves up with doomsday bunkers because they know what's going to happen. They know absolutely what's going to happen. We're all just going to sit around idly by watching the greatest show on earth. It's coming right up after this break. We're going to see who our next leader is going to be on the left. Will it be the left or the right? Oh, I don't even know. It's all the same old thing. Now, our coverage is coming right up. You're not going to want to miss it.
Welcome to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host for this fourth hour, the news wrap-up, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up tonight, the Democrat debate. Of course, we're going to be covering that live as part of the nightly news. That'll begin at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when our news broadcast begins. The debate will begin about a half hour into that broadcast. So we're going to pick it up, cover it live like we did during the Money Bomb. We're going to have live comments. You'll also be able to contact us via Twitter, hashtag DemDebate, D-E-M debate. You'll be able to send us your questions, your comments, and we're going to take a look at it because, you know, it's interesting to see how CNN is talking about how differently they're going to cover this debate than they did the GOP debate. CNN, Anderson Cooper will be the moderator this time. They had Jake Tapper moderate the last GOP debate, which was on CNN. Anderson Cooper says he's not going to try to mix this up and pit one candidate against another. Well, we are. We're going to pit them against their records. We're going to pit them against themselves, essentially, as well as against each other. I think it might be more interesting than people think. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to rock the boat, and I think Hillary Clinton is going to play it pretty safe unless somebody gets her mad. But I think that you've got three candidates there, two of them especially, Webb and O'Malley, who are pretty intelligent. I think they will come out swinging because they realize that from a horse race standpoint, this is essential for their survival. We had a DNC officer say she was disinvited from this particular debate because she had asked for more of them. They're only going to have 6 Democrat debates. It's a very, very controlled process.
I'm running for president. Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion. I'm hitting the road to earn your vote, and I hope you'll join me on this journey.
I might as well just...
show your disapproval for Hillary Clinton? Get your Hillary for Prison 2016 t-shirt today at the INFOWARS store. Hurry up because these things are selling out faster than Hillary Clinton.
This is an American president. Just add puppet, then vote and repeat every 4 years.
Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Now, InfoWarsLife.com is excited to announce that we can bring you our most bioactive, powerful form of B12 that has been developed with our exclusive perfected process. Secret 12 is a binary of nutrimedical-grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.